In early 2025, Texas lawmakers took a bold step to reshape the landscape for small businesses across the state. Through House Bill 9, commonly known as HB 9, the Texas legislature introduced a significant change to the business personal property tax, one that could bring meaningful relief to thousands of entrepreneurs and local companies. This bill aims to increase the exemption threshold for business personal property tax from a modest $2,500 to a staggering $125,000. For many small businesses, this translates into an average annual savings of about $2,500, a substantial amount that can be redirected toward growth, hiring, or simply keeping the doors open during challenging times. Let's break down what business personal property tax actually is. Unlike taxes on real estate, the business personal property tax is levied on tangible items owned by a business. Think computers, furniture, machinery, and other equipment. Historically, Texas businesses were only exempt from tax on the first $10,500 worth of these assets. For most small businesses, that threshold was quickly met, meaning many had to pay taxes on nearly everything in their inventory. HB 9 dramatically raises that exemption to $125,000, allowing small enterprises to retain more of their earnings and invest back into their operations. The journey of HB 9 through the Texas legislature was swift. The bill garnered strong support from both lawmakers and the business community, reflecting a shared understanding of the vital role small businesses play in Texas's economy. The Texas Senate passed HB 9 in April 2025, and Governor Greg Abbott signed it into law in June 2025. However, there's one final hurdle before this relief becomes a reality: voter approval. On November 4th, 2025, Texans will head to the polls to decide whether this exemption increase will take effect. The outcome of this vote will determine whether small businesses can begin to benefit from these substantial tax savings. But why is this measure so important? Small businesses are often described as the backbone of the Texas economy. They provide jobs, support local communities, and drive innovation. Yet, many are burdened by complex and costly taxes, which can stifle growth and limit their capacity to compete. By raising the exemption threshold, HB 9 aims to free up resources for small business owners, helping them weather economic uncertainty and invest in their futures. HB 9 is not an isolated effort. It's part of a broader initiative to provide property tax relief across Texas. In tandem with this bill, the legislature passed Senate Bill 4, which raised the mandatory school district residents' homestead exemption to $140,000, and Senate Bill 23, which increased the homestead exemption for seniors and disabled individuals to $200,000. Together, these measures represent a sweeping commitment to reduce property tax burdens for both businesses and homeowners statewide. Of course, major tax reforms come with their own set of challenges. While the business community has welcomed the relief provided by HB 9, some local governments, particularly school districts, have voiced concerns about potential revenue losses. Property taxes fund essential services, including public schools, infrastructure, and emergency services. With fewer dollars coming in from business personal property taxes, local officials worry they may need to raise other taxes or fees to make up the difference. To address this, the state has allocated funds to compensate local governments for anticipated shortfalls. However, questions remain about the long-term sustainability of these solutions and the potential impact on local budgets. As November 4th approaches, the fate of HB 9 rests in the hands of Texas voters. Supporters argue that the measure will empower small businesses, spur economic growth, and keep Texas competitive as a destination for entrepreneurs. Critics urge careful consideration of the implications for public services and local funding. Ultimately, the decision will shape the future of business in Texas, determining whether relief arrives for thousands of small enterprises and how the state balances the needs of its communities with its commitment to economic vitality. In summary, House Bill 9 stands as a landmark proposal in Texas tax policy. offering significant relief to small businesses by increasing the business personal property tax exemption from $10,500 to $125,000. With the promise of saving small businesses an average of $10,500 each year, the measure reflects the state's ongoing efforts to support its economic backbone. Texans will have the final say in November, casting their votes on a bill that could redefine the way business is done in the Lone Star State for years to come.